Attention Formula One fans. While the headlines screamed about Lewis Hamilton's strategic disagreements in Austria, something even more electrifying was unfolding in Maranello's shadows. An alliance, hidden from the glare of cameras, was quietly taking shape between Hamilton and Ferrari's temporary leader, Jerome D'Ambrosio. This was no ordinary partnership spurred by circumstance. It was a calculated, almost clandestine meeting of two minds forged in Mercedes fire and now determined to ignite a Ferrari revolution. As the media obsessed over radio messages and public frustrations, Hamilton and D'Ambrosio operated in silence, using each controversy as camouflage for their real work, sculpting the next era of Scuderia Ferrari. Imagine, behind closed doors, a 7-time world champion and an ex-Mercedes mastermind exchanging strategies, leveraging insights only true outsiders could possess. In the heart of Italy, where emotion has ruled Ferrari for generations, two meticulous architects of victory began rewriting the blueprint. The paddock felt a ripple subtle, almost imperceptible, but the consequences could reshape the future of Formula One's proudest team. This is not just another driver signing or executive shuffle. This is a covert alliance with the potential to overturn decades of tradition. The paddock is watching, and nothing at Ferrari will ever be the same. To understand the gravity of this hidden alliance, we must rewind to two major seismic shifts that rock the Formula One landscape. First, after over a decade of chasing Michael Schumacher's legacy and enduring years of near misses, Ferrari pulled off the signing of Lewis Hamilton, a sporting coup that stunned the paddock. Hamilton, the most decorated driver of his era, did not simply seek a new challenge. He sought to become the architect of Ferrari's long-awaited resurrection. Fresh from his unparalleled success at Mercedes, where discipline, innovation, and relentless data-driven pursuit defined the team, Hamilton arrived in Maranello with both a champion's swagger and a reformer's resolve. But the second equally critical pillar of this partnership was the quiet entry of Jerome D'Ambrosio. Few outside F1's inner circle appreciated D'Ambrosio's depth. A former Formula One driver whose brief racing stint was eclipsed by his sharp intellect as a team strategist and consigliere to Toto Wolff at Mercedes. When Ferrari tapped him as interim team boss following a leadership shakeup, it raised eyebrows. But for Hamilton, it was a reassuring sign. D'Ambrosio, who had studied Hamilton's working style, psychological approaches, and on-track instincts at Mercedes, brought with him a rare blend of first-hand racing experience and boardroom acumen, precisely the hybrid Ferrari needed. Together, these two outsiders stand apart from Ferrari's storied but insular tradition. While the Scuderia is known for its passion and history, it had long lacked the cold, surgical precision that propelled Mercedes' modern dominance. D'Ambrosio and Hamilton speak a technical language rooted in simulation models, tire degradation analytics, energy deployment strategy, and pit stop choreography domains where the smallest margins become championship-defining. Their trial by fire came almost immediately, when a contentious strategy call in Austria saw Hamilton question his new team's instincts in real time. Yet, the real intrigue lay not in the radio exchange, but in the quiet nods and off-camera conversations that followed. A mutual recognition that any true transformation would not come from avoiding friction, but from harnessing it. In this crucible, alliances are forged, not declared, and Ferrari stands on the threshold of reinvention. The flashpoint arrived midway through the Austrian Grand Prix. Hamilton, already wrestling with a car whose setup favored qualifying over race pace, began questioning Ferrari's tire strategy over team radio. "Are we sure this is right? We're dropping back on the mediums," crackled his voice, measured yet unmistakably assertive. The world listened for fireworks. Instead, D'Ambrosio, controlling the Ferrari pit wall with quiet assurance, reaffirmed the team's commitment to their race plan. The pit crew window flickered with live data, track temperatures, tire wear projections, delta gaps to rivals. Yet behind the numbers, a larger game was unfolding. D'Ambrosio saw the moment not just as a tactical crossroads, but as a test of trust. He responded, "Lewis, trust the process, extend the stint, target the overcut." It was a nuanced gamble. Ferrari, armed with fresh modeling from D'Ambrosio's Mercedes playbook, calculated that late race grip would trump short-term losses. Cameras caught a rare, tightly focused expression on Hamilton's face, a microsecond of acknowledgement that signaled something deeper than frustration. Off-air, post-race, D'Ambrosio and Hamilton pored over data together, dissecting marbles on turn 7, energy deployment patterns, and the split-second call that led to a P4 finish better than the pessimists predicted. For D'Ambrosio, the episode was more than a strategic vindication. It cemented a dynamic where candid challenge was not punished, but invited. For Hamilton, it was the bridge from skepticism to buy-in, a subtle but vital step toward claiming true leadership in red. For Hamilton and D'Ambrosio, the mission at Ferrari extends far beyond adjusting fuel mixtures or finessing aero packages. It is about tearing down old walls and rebuilding the team's very foundation. Together, they envision transforming the Scuderia's identity from a passion-fueled, at times erratic powerhouse into one defined by relentless consistency and institutional excellence. Hamilton, tempered by the stoicism and process-driven edge of Mercedes, brings a blueprint for performance that values every detail, from pit stop drills to data integration, from team debriefs to the calm management of in-race adversity. D'Ambrosio is his perfect counterpart, determined to take Ferrari's celebrated heart and marry it with a new spirit of discipline and method. Their changes begin at the human level, encouraging open criticism, rewarding analytical thinking over intuition, and building a culture where error is dissected, not buried. Team meetings, once driven by emotion and hierarchy, are becoming collaborative, with Hamilton frequently seen engaging junior engineers and strategists side by side with senior leadership. Simulations and post-race analyses are no longer box-ticking exercises but forums for creative thinking. Historical Ferrari might have doubled down on tradition after setbacks. Under Hamilton and D'Ambrosio, failure becomes a catalyst for radical re-examination. New procedural rhythms are emerging, a nod to McLaren's team-wide autopsies after disastrous weekends, or Red Bull's unyielding drive to learn from every defeat. The aim, to flatten silos between departments, fast-track technical updates, and nurture a sense of accountability usually reserved for championship-winning teams. Ultimately, they are instilling a mindset where every session practice, qualifying, race, is an opportunity to refine the process, not just chase the result. With direct communication and a culture of resilience, Ferrari is becoming not only braver on track, but smarter off it. This cultural remaking is as much about shaping future champions as it is about winning the next Grand Prix, establishing a new Ferrari DNA that aspires to endure well beyond their own era. Inside Ferrari, the atmosphere is charged with an unusual cocktail of apprehension and anticipation. Some long-serving engineers, steeped in the red traditions of Maranello, voice guarded optimism but admit to unease at so much upheaval led by outsiders. Senior technical leaders who watched Ferrari's fortunes wax and wane through eras of internal politics and impassioned Italian leadership are grappling with a new, more methodical regime. Yet, among the younger staff and those frustrated by stagnation, hope flourishes that Hamilton's rigor and D'Ambrosio's strategic detachment can finally break the cycle of passionate boom and bust. Externally, rival teams cast wary glances at the evolving Ferrari camp. At Mercedes, some view D'Ambrosio's move as a clever infiltration, one of their own rewriting the Scuderia's playbook with Silver Arrow's DNA. Red Bull, masters of their own culture shift under Christian Horner, privately acknowledge the latent threat of a Ferrari galvanized by two proven disruptors. Paddock veterans and analysts alike draw parallels to landmark turning points. Michael Schumacher's seismic move to Ferrari in the 1990s, when an outsider-led axis of Brawn, Byrne, and Tott dismantled old habits and launched an era of dominance. Or more recently, Mercedes' transformation from perennial contenders to unstoppable force under Wolff's unflinching leadership. Still, skepticism lingers. Can even legends bend Ferrari's institution to their will, or will tradition swallow the experiment whole? What is clear is that the Hamilton-D'Ambrosio partnership has shattered the inertia. The risks are immense, but so too is the chance that this silent alliance could spearhead F1's next great transformation. As this covert revolution unfolds, the stakes for Ferrari and for Formula One itself could scarcely be higher. Should the Hamilton-D'Ambrosio axis succeed, they will not simply have delivered the silverware that escaped so many before, they will have redefined what it means to win in red, blending passion with precision, legend with logic. A triumphant transformation would establish a new template for success in Maranello, inspiring future generations and shifting the very balance of power across the grid. But if they falter, the cost will be more than lost titles or bruised egos. It could entrench the narrative that Ferrari's traditions are simply too formidable to be conquered by outsiders, returning the Scuderia to cycles of hope and heartbreak. As the world watches this high-stakes experiment, one burning question endures. Is this the dawn of a new Ferrari dynasty, fueled by a bold alliance of visionaries, or will history repeat itself, resisting change in the heartland of motorsport? Join the conversation. Your insight and passion could help write the next chapter of F1's greatest story.